will frequently have adults come in and they'll say, are you just for kids? And I said, no, I said our youngest client is 4 and our oldest client was at the time 86. And so we really, brain training bridges the gap. There is no age at which it's not helpful. All of us, as a part of the life process, we have a decline in our cognitive abilities and the way that our brain functions. And so any time that you implement brain training, it slows down that decline of our brain functioning. So it is imperative that we do some sort. That's why, when we're talking with senior citizens, we will say, do Sudoku, do crossword puzzles, go learn something new, take a class, because it's so imperative that you keep your brain active, just like any muscle in your body. It has to be exercised, and if you don't use it, you lose it.
My daughter recognized that I was having problems talking to people and talking to the children and then talking to the grandchildren, and I was just having trouble with my memory, and she recommended that I come to the school, and first I didn't want to. I said, there's nothing wrong with me. But then after coming here and talking with Becky and going through the sessions, then I realized there was something wrong with me. And now I feel real good about it. And
when Bob first came for the first time, it was like, I don't need this. I don't have to do this. I don't know why she wants me here. And it was hard, because I had to change his attitude into thinking we all need this. And we do. We all need it. I need it. I can't imagine, I can't believe the difference in myself as far as processing and responding to other people and retaining information for a longer period of time. And Bob was the same way. And I think as we broke through some of those barriers, not that because he was a man, it had to do with the way he was, the generation that he lived in, the upbringing that he had, and it was hard, that initial humility of having to do something and to learn something new was hard for him. And we overcame those barriers, and now he says, when are you going to take me back, Teach? So it's been kind of fun. It's fun. He's a joy to have.
it was difficult at first, of course it was, but with Becky it didn't take me long to get down to the nitty-gritty.
Well, working with the adults is a little more challenging because some of the training that goes on is a definite retraining of the brain. Some of it is almost solidified, and so it's a little harder. So the approach is a little different when we train those adults. And with Bob, we worked really hard on certain areas, and part of it was processing, and his response time was, he would have to really contemplate on what he was saying.
Holding conversations as you get older becomes harder. It's harder to pull information from your memory or to stay focused on things. Our brain begins to wander, and that causes, especially our senior citizens, to kind of go into a depression that they can't hold a conversation well, and so then they kind of start secluding themselves. And so the ability that they can hold a conversation, retrieve information, remember what they had for lunch or what they did the day before, their long-term memory usually is intact, but that more immediate memory is very challenging for them, and it opens up a whole new world of communication to them.
I believe that one of the first things that I saw happen in him was that he initiated conversations, which was huge for him because he would usually just stand back and listen, gather his thoughts, and then want to respond to something instead of coming in and saying, well, what do you think about this? So that was a huge change for him, and I saw it as he interacted with other adults, so that was important for me to see in him.
Yes, anybody up in my age group, if they're having trouble with memory, I would certainly recommend it to them.